Parting with sentimental items can be really hard at any age. And if you're over 50 like me, it can be even harder because you've had more time to accumulate them, but also because they're associated with times or people that we've lost. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why it's so hard to part with sentimental items, and also some of the strategies that have really helped me pare down while keeping some sentimental things. One of the first things that I want to talk about is time. If you've suffered a loss recently, give yourself some time to grieve whatever it is. If it's a person or an event happened that was a loss for you, it makes it tough to part with those sentimental items because you're grieving. And I'm not a counselor or anything, I should say that. I'm just a woman who's gone through this. I've been going through this and I've made a lot of progress, and time helps. Time heals, and you can always come back to it when you're a little less raw. If you don't have time, sometimes that happens, then I hope that some of the other tips in this video can help you. There are a lot of logical reasons that you can consider when parting with sentimental items, and I am going to talk about those, but I'm going to save them for last because first I want to share with you the things that really helped me. All right, something I find really helpful is kind of a flip of thought, turning that thought around by focusing on what you're going to keep instead of what you're going to part with. This has been very helpful for me to save a few things. Really look at what I have. What is really special to me? I'm going to save that, and I'm going to give myself permission to save those things. If you can pare things down and have a manageable amount of items that you can display, hang on to, bring out at holidays, whatever, just enjoy, it's going to be easier to remember and honor those people or those times because it's part of your life and you can incorporate it. When there's too much, it's kind of overwhelming and it's hard to tackle. If you have objects in the same category, you could look at that. You could look at what really means something to me. You could look at the condition that something is in, or the quality of it, if that means something. One example from my life is this bedspread. My mom was a crafter. She was so creative. She had so much energy. So she made a lot of things and she did a lot of things. She was really a cool lady. And this is a bedspread that she made and this little pillow. And it's a great example of her work. It's very pretty and it's in great condition. So this I decided to keep. And here's another example where I chose from two similar things. The piece on the right is a fabric kind of crafty thing. I think there was a pattern for it in an embroidery hoop. You can see how faded it is. This is, probably 30 years old or somewhere 20, 30. It's kind of fraying. The condition's not great anymore. And I also have this beautiful cut glass piece that is, of much higher quality, obviously, and is still in great condition. So I'm going to keep this and allow myself to thank this for its memories and let it go. If you can find a use for some of the items, that's really a great thing to do because you can incorporate it into your life. It's a part of your life. It is there for you to enjoy and to remember. I have two clarinets here that are another example. This little clarinet is my third grade clarinet. I played in the school band. I mean, it wasn't like a big thing, but in third grade. And so this little clarinet and I, we go way back. And this one is from a time, 8 years ago. I thought I was going to take up the clarinet again, so I bought a higher quality clarinet. And I was going to give them both away, and then I thought, well, maybe I'll keep one. And I decided not to really take it up seriously, but every once in a while, you know, especially on the holidays, I like to get out the clarinet and belt out a couple Christmas tunes. That's always something I enjoy doing. And I was going to keep the better one. And then I thought, you know, no, I'm going to keep my little third grade clarinet. I mean, again, I'm not going to play it seriously. But this makes me smile every time I look at it. I love the case with the stitching. You know, so if there's something that's really special to you, you know, whether it's better or not, maybe that's the thing to keep. Another thing that really helps me, even though this may sound a little silly, but it's to kind of thank the object, honor the object, kind of give it just a little mental thank as you're donating it. And speaking of donating, that's another way that can make this a little more meaningful. When I was thinking to give away these clarinets, I called a school and asked if I could donate them, a music school, and they said sure. And that made me feel really good that, you know, maybe my little third grade clarinet would get another life with another little kid who would enjoy it. I'm going to keep that one, but I can donate this one. It's even a better one. Another thing that really helped me was doing it in phases. If you have the luxury of time and you're able to do this in phases, that's another really great way to part with sentimental items. And I would suggest starting with the easy things first. That's what I did. Are there magazines, cookbooks? Do you really need all the cookbooks? There's lots of examples of this, but if you can start with the things that are easy, it can kind of help build momentum. The task doesn't seem as overwhelming. And then as you're ready, you can just repeat that process until you're down to however much you want to keep. When you have fewer things, you can better connect with things. If they're in boxes and just tucked away, they're really not honoring anyone, and you're not enjoying them and remembering the person or the place or whatever. And speaking of things that are tucked away, I have a few more examples for you, and we're going to go on a little field trip. Welcome to our storage locker. This storage locker serves two purposes. It is part of my husband's business, so that's why we have such a large storage locker. In order to get drive-up capabilities so that he can unload and load the car, we had to get this big storage locker. I know this looks like a lot, and it is, but it is a fraction of what it was. And how I have done this is using some of the strategies that I'm talking about in this video. I've done it in phases, starting with the easiest stuff first, saving certain things that were really important to me so that I knew that I had something, and then having some time, taking some time to think about the rest. Much of this is dishes. I inherited a lot of dishes. All of this, all the way back to here. Here I am. I know it's dark in this corner. These are pretty much all dishes. And this is going to have a video all its own. So if you're interested in that, it will be part of this series. So let me give you some examples. Here in front of me, I have two bins of professional grade cake pan sets. Yes, cake pan sets. So for example, if you wanted to do a wedding cake or other tiered special occasion cake, these are all the sizes. I think the small one for the round set is at the house, or maybe it's in the bottom there. But I have a round set. I have a heart-shaped set. I have this adorable flower-shaped set. What else do I have in here? Oh, there's even a bigger round one. Oh, there's the rest of the round ones. And I have a square set. I've got a one hexagonal, oh no, I have a full hexagonal, what is this? 1, 2, 3, I guess it's, a 6-sided set. So let's think about this. First of all, the reason why it's sentimental to me is because my mom had a cake business and she really, really wanted me to take it over. And I did work with her for a while, and I was a cake decorator for a while, and I really enjoyed it. Believe it or not, I ended up with tendinitis from it, and I ended up moving more toward the flowers. But this was very much her thing. And to give them away, honestly, even right now, it just feels like I'm giving away a part of her. And giving away what she really, really wanted me to do. And it's been difficult, and that's why they've been sitting here. But one strategy was phases. I have already donated many, many other items related to this field, such as molds and things like that. So I did it in phases. Right now that I'm ready to give away some more, what I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on what I'm going to keep. I'm going to keep a set or two. That way I still have that. I still have part of her. And I think what I've decided is that I'm going to keep the round set. And will I ever use these? I don't know. I probably won't, and I might end up giving these away later on. But again, in those phases, I'm going to pare this down again. So I'm going to keep this round set, and I'm going to keep this flower set. Now this flower set is so crazy. Will I ever really use this? I'm not sure, because it's a real pain in the rear to frost this, as you can imagine. But I really, really love it. And I'm thinking ganache, I'm thinking a poured frosting, and how adorable would it be? And you know how much I love flowers if you've watched any of my other videos and if you've watched this channel. So I am going to keep these two sets near and dear to my heart, and I'm going to donate all the rest. And that, oh, also at home I know I have a full sheet and I have a quarter sheet, which are very common cake sizes. So that's what I'm going to do. And I have pared this down by at least 50% by doing this. So what I'm going to do with the items that I'm going to part with is I'm going to try to sell these, because they are professional grade. These are professional grade cake pans. I also have a ton of cake tips, so I might be able to do like a package. And if they don't sell, fine. I'm going to donate them to my favorite charity, which was also a favorite charity of my mom's. And that's going to make me feel good, and I think it would make her feel good too. Here is something that I won't be giving away. It's my dad's army jacket from World War II. This is what I mean about saving a few things that are kind of significant, historically significant or historically significant to the family. And this is a great example. I will be keeping this. It doesn't really make me think of my dad in a real sentimental way, because I didn't know him when he was in World War II. He was a very young man, but I do remember him telling war stories. And this is special. I advocate for keeping a few things. This helps me. It helps me part with other things. It helps me feel like I'm honoring my family and I'm honoring some of the heritage that goes with it. And it's just kind of cool. So if you have some things that are like this, save those. And what I'm trying to do is put like a little note on it. I'll probably hang it rather than put it in a pocket, just in case someone comes across this when I'm gone and doesn't know what it is. They'll know, and then they can choose. Do they want to keep it or do they want to get rid of it? And here's an example of something that I'm going to give away. This is my graduation gown when I graduated from college. I saved it along with the cap that's around here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where it is, but going to college was a really, really special thing for me. It's something that I did for myself, and I graduated, and I'm very proud of it. And so that's why I ended up keeping this. But you know what? I have something else. I actually have two things that are more important, really, as far as reminding myself of my accomplishment. One, I just know that I did it, and no one can take that away from me, and I have my diploma to prove it. So there, I have my own experience. I loved college, it was great, and I have my diploma, and that's enough. And it makes it easier for me to part with this. I mentioned that I was going to talk about some of the logical things that you can think about when trying to part with sentimental items. And those are things like those items are not the person. They're not going to bring someone back, and they're not going to bring back a time like when your children were little or some other thing that is making it hard to part with those items. We do have to separate the item from the person or the event. And that's where time really helps. It helps you separate the person or the time or whatever it is from the thing. It makes sense that it's hard to get rid of some of these sentimental items, especially if you're a sentimental person or you've suffered some loss. If you have suffered a loss, then parting with the item is kind of like another loss. And maybe you don't want to forget someone, or you don't want to forget some time. Also, sometimes we feel guilty. Maybe something was a gift, or maybe a family member, gave us something, they passed something down to us, and we feel an obligation to keep it. Also, if you're like me, I like to have something. I like to have little pieces of my history. I like to be able to open a drawer and take something out and take a trip down memory lane. And a lot of times these items have a story. Maybe they're part of the family history. There's some kind of heritage there, and they're interesting. They're usually a lot more interesting than something that you can just buy new. This video is part of a series. Right now I'm working on 3. I posted one back in January. There's this one, the helping part with sentimental items. There's 5 easy ways to start decluttering, and also what to do with inherited dishes. So those are on the way. And I suspect I'll end up making more videos because I keep thinking of other categories. For example, photos. Those I'm saving for last because they're harder. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a beautiful day.